Today's science students face a great threat, and it's not coming from the deadly Ebola virus or the even deadlier terrorist group ISIS. No, the real threat is the scientific research report. So a lot of students these days have a big problem writing scientific research reports because it's just something that's not taught anywhere within any high school at all. It's a very complex idea for some because it has all the same ideas of writing a regular essay in English class, but totally, smashed up, mixed up, and thrown into a totally new medium, essentially. And so I want to talk about first where the ideas of this begin. And that starts with your goggles and your lab coat. You got to go into the science lab, first of all, to get any sort of start with this. It's not like an English paper where you can just, think of an idea and start writing about it. That's just not how it works for this. Not anywhere close at all. You have to go in, get some hard data, and you just got to work on it. And what's interesting, I find, is this. This is a lab notebook. As you can see, these are numbers. Yes, numbers. They have almost no correlation to any sort of writing that you could possibly do in an English class. And that's, though, is where you get all the ideas for your writing. You start, you take measurements, you gather data, you pull an experiment off, and you write about it. Now, also a big part of this that people have a horrible time understanding is you got to throw away all the ideas of your voice, style, all this crap. I mean, when you're writing a scientific report, it's dry, relatively boring, but it's informative. And that's the key. Information is key to the research report. It is the lifeblood of the research report. It is all about the ideas being presented, not so much the way they are being presented that matters. So if we look at this desert picture, I think this is a good analogy. It's all horribly dry, as I said. There's nothing interesting about this picture. But the thing that stands out is the tree in it. And that's kind of like the information in a science report. That is the thing that you're supposed to easily pick out of what's being presented. So sticking with the landscape analogy, we can imagine the English paper as more of a lush jungle, where there's trees and waterfalls and bushes. These kind of stand for all the different components of English paper besides the main idea. And sometimes it's hard to pick out what the main idea is because there's so much other stuff going on. So when I interviewed my TA for this research paper, he told me something that I thought was horribly interesting, and it was that when you read a book, you can get two pieces of enjoyment out of it. You can really enjoy the style, and you can really enjoy the content, but you don't need to necessarily have both to enjoy the book. That's just not true with the paper. It all has to be content. Style just does not matter. Having all that have been said, there are some key similarities between an English class paper and a scientific report. And perhaps I find the most obvious part is the fact that plagiarism is something that you do not want to have any remnant of in either. And it's very difficult with a scientific report because every single thing you do is based off of some other guy's work. That's just how it is. That's science. It's built upon the backs of other scientists that have come before you, their experiments, their findings, and you're just trying to advance the field, essentially. So it's a very tough process to keep all those sources in line, but like an English paper, it's just something you have to do to give credit where it's due.